Good morning. Good morning and welcome, welcome. This is an exciting day and an exciting morning for something we have for so long been waiting to happen, about 15 years in the making. Mulberry Commons is recognized as a milestone. For about $10 million, this private-public economic development initiative is now a reality. I am Gwen Moten, Director of the Office of Arts, Culture, Development, and Tourism, and it has been my pleasure to work with a few of the people for this project because it is not only a park, it is a place for tourism, it is a place for art, it is a place for play, fun meetings, and I've had the chance to work on the art initiative that will happen here. We're thankful that you're able to be here. We appreciate the time, and yes, we want to move forward, and we want to move quickly so that we're not caught in the rain. Our first speaker is Natasha Rogers, who is the interim Deputy Mayor and Director of the Department of Economic and Housing Development and Chief Operating Officer. Natasha.
Greetings, everyone. So I'm honored to be here on behalf of the city, on behalf of the Department of Economic Development as the Chief Operating Officer for the city. As a kid from Newark, I grew up not far from here, and I remember Mulberry Arcade and my mom bringing me down here as a toddler to play with the straw on the floor and to grab peanuts from the peanut stockade. So this is like a great cultivation and manifestation of hard work on behalf of all our city employees and all our partners in the private sector. This is a great example of a public-private partnership. $10 million, 15 years worth of work, critical long nights. Just a really, really great manifestation of what true partnerships mean. So there's plenty of people to thank, and I'm probably not going to do anyone all the justice that's needed since this has been over a decade in the making. But I just want to highlight some people, and please forgive me if I don't acknowledge everyone. So I want to acknowledge J&L Companies, Wasim Barai from the Barai Development, Jennifer Sage, Taiwook Cha from the landscape principal at the Superman Studio Landscape Architect, Hugh Weber from Harris Blitzer Sports and Entertainment, and also the Newark Downtown District and Edison Properties. Thank you again.
Please welcome the Honorable Mildred Crump.
For those who may not realize, that made me feel good. The mayor confirmed for me that it's been 15 years, and every council member, we've been in this effort. I certainly want to thank the councilwoman of the Central Ward for joining in as well. Certainly, you all ought to clap it up for Mayor Raz Baraka, the best mayor in America. That's my new phrase. That's my new phrase. So many wonderful things are happening in the great city of Newark. And as I said yesterday, it bears repeating. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we have come together to rejoice in it. Children from far and near will be able to come to Newark and find entertainment and opportunities to play and just be children. And that's what impresses me about this project. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the support and the conversation in quotes from Mr. Borai. I know that he is going to be called up to speak. But he is one of the ones, and I'm doing this in public on purpose, who, when I sort of crossed this off my list of accomplishments, he called me one day and he said, it's going to be done. And so I thank you, along with everyone else who has had a hand in this creation. Newark is moving forward. Somebody ought to say Newark is moving forward. We're a destination. And under the leadership of this mayor, the cooperation of the council, the incredible investment of all of our business partners and investors, we thank you on behalf of the residents of the great city of Newark. God bless you. God keep you.
Now, please welcome Burnell Hall, who's the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Newark Community Economic Development Corporation.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's a cloudy day, but clearly the sun is shining bright on the city of Newark. I want to thank everyone for coming out. I want to give special thanks to our mayor for his vision, business savvy, and commitment to this project. Special thanks to our city council. Special thanks to all our public-private partnership. I was telling someone earlier, if I begin to go down the line, I'm going to run into trouble. So I just want to say that everyone, all the people who worked on the ground, all the leaders, all the investors that put dollars into this project, we thank you for that. This project represents $400 million in economic impact to this city. It represents the start of a thriving ecosystem that will include 24/7 shopping, commerce, and recreation. It represents a world-class model that will continue to broadcast all across the world to all those who would look to Newark as a leader in urban revitalization. I thank you for your time, I thank you for your presence, and I look forward to tomorrow.
We have a lot of dignitaries and old friends that I've known over the years here in the city, but I just want to call a couple out and others as they come in. We have with us Assemblywoman Spates, Assemblyman Caputo, representing the state of New Jersey, Ty Cooper, former Assemblyman Bill Payne, freeholder Wayne Richardson. Please help me welcome Wasim Boré, who is the Vice President of Boré Development.
Good morning, everyone. I want to echo what Council President Crump said. I think this project, out of all the projects we're doing in Newark, we always thought this was probably the most important because, you know, a city is not just buildings, it's not just retail, it's not just education facilities, it's also about a city's soul. And when Mayor Baraka came into office, when he let all the developers know that we're all fighting over this land, they were fighting like crazy. I was one of them. We were all fighting with each other. There was civic leadership. And I think the term public-private partnership is often overused. In every major city I'm in, it's all I hear, public-private, but it's always about the private. This is one gleaming example where real civic leadership, and Mayor Baraka, I give you and your team all the credit, real civic leadership has now protected the city's soul. Every one of the 280,000 residents in the city of Newark can now enjoy the most pristine, most beautiful park in front of a world-class facility like the Prudential Center and the best transportation options in the state. This is the model for the state of New Jersey, and we thank the city of Newark. Thank you.
Please, let's also welcome and acknowledge our council persons here today. Please stand for recognition. Business Administrator Eric Pennington. I'd like to bring up Gabrielle Lopez, who is the principal at J&L Companies.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. Hard to believe I was in high school when this whole process started. On behalf of my family and J&L Companies, we are excited to be here with all of you to celebrate this landmark project. I'd like to thank our fellow stakeholders, Mayor Baraka, City Council, and the broader Newark community for their time, efforts, and support in getting us here today. My parents immigrated to Newark 50 years ago with the hope of a new life opportunity and have been committed to the city of Newark ever since. I was born just a few blocks from here and would have loved having this park growing up. To see the city transforming before my eyes is both humbling and exciting, reaffirming what my family has always known to be true, that Newark is a great American city. Decades in the making, this public-private redevelopment is breathing new life into downtown and the Ironbound. Combined with future projects like our forthcoming 400-unit residential building, 55 Union, Newark is evolving into a denser, safer, more interactive city. Mulberry Commons will surely be a nexus for shopping, dining, working, living, and the arts. It will help Newark reach its potential as a 24/7 city, a place where, in Mayor Baraka's words, people come to live, work, and buy. This is an exciting time to be in Newark, and we are honored to be a part. Thank you.
Next, we have Jennifer Sage, who is the principal at Sage & Combs Architects.
Thank you. I hate to echo Gabriel, but it really just seems like yesterday that when we were all here to break ground on Mulberry Commons. And today, it is so great to be able to open the park, open to the public this transformative downtown park, rain or shine. Days like today are only possible with the visionary leadership. We are all grateful to Mayor Baraka and his truly inspired vision for Newark. We all know what it takes, that it takes a village to get things done. I would say that would be Newark. In that spirit, we want to acknowledge the efforts of Interim Deputy Mayor Natasha Rogers, the incredible team at CEDC, now led by Bernal Hall, including our tireless project manager, Doso Kasimu, who really has been a huge champion. We're indebted to Anthony McMillan of NDD and Seth Grossman of the IBID for all their help in extending our outreach efforts, and of course the partnership forged between the city, HBS&E, Edison, the Lopez family, and other players has been key to the advancement of our design effort. We're tremendously honored and excited to be part of this project, one that we believe will radically change the face of Newark, unite the 5 wards, and in the following phase, link the downtown to the Ironbound, creating an essential connection to the tracks at Penn Station and the riverfront beyond. I would also like to take a moment to acknowledge the effort of our entire design team, Supermass, our Supermass Studio landscape architects who have worked with us to shape the project, Arap, who's provided both engineering and lighting design, Pannoni for other engineering, Chuck Woodridge of Woodridge Chen Architects, our local architectural liaison, Yendor Arts, and of course the Public Art Committee, led by Ms. Moten, who have guided the incorporation of art in the project. This park will bring much needed green space for the health and enjoyment of the city of Newark, and with its success, economic and vitality. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, access to places for physical activity led to 25.6% increase in people exercising 3 or more days a week. The U.S. Forest Services has stated that over a 50-year lifetime, 1 tree generates $31,000 worth of oxygen, $62,000 worth of air pollution control, recycles $37,000 worth of water, and controls $31,000 worth of soil erosion. Now multiply that by about 150, which is what we have in Mulberry Commons, and you're able to see the ways this park will improve the lives of the citizens of Newark. Here are some other metrics, and I'm almost done. The American Planning Association has reported that green spaces are settings for frequent informal interaction among neighbors that nurture the formation of neighborhood social ties. Livability is a litmus test for determining the strength of the real estate market and potential job growth. If people want to live in a place, companies, stores, hotels, and apartments will follow. Finally, a study conducted by the University of Michigan, and this is our favorite, affirms that being outdoors and exercising in nature improves creativity by 50%. Mulberry Commons will be everything and anything: a seasonal event, a concert on the lawn, an outdoor game room, museum, and classroom. It will establish a place to play, to meet, and to connect, to rest, to read, and perhaps most important, make a transformative destination for all of Newark. Thank you very much.
As this project is so dear to our heart, for those of us who work at City Hall, I do want to acknowledge our directors who've walked over, our directors and managers from City Hall who have watched this project progress. So our directors, we thank you for coming out. Director Council. The principal at Supermass Studio Landscape Architecture is Teakwood Chai. Teakwood?
Good morning. Wow, this is a dream come true day for a landscape architect. Thank you, New York. My name is Tae-wook Cha. I'm a landscape architect at Supermass Studio and the principal designer of Mulberry Commons Park. As we are celebrating the opening of the park today, there are so many things I want to talk about. Its design, its urban and economic contributions, the fountain, of course. But if I have to talk about one thing and one thing only today, I want to talk about people, because people are the reason why we're doing this. As a landscape architect, people often ask me, what is a good park? And I tell them a good park should feel like your extended family. Anybody who raised young children without the support of family members would know what it feels like. I know I did. Because when my daughter was born, my wife and I were young immigrants with no immediate family around in this country. So we took our child to a small park around the corner in our neighborhood whenever we could. And the park became her grandparents, aunties, uncles, and cousins that she didn't have with her at the time. The park took care of her. I dream of this park to be filled with family, from little children to their young parents to their grandparents, uncles, aunties, and cousins. All gather around, celebrate their life together, meet new neighbors, and build a great community. However, I also dream of this park to become a family to those with less resources, a place where they can bring their children whenever they can, from Ironbound, from downtown, from every corner of Newark, coming to this park, where the park becomes their extended family, the same way the small park once was to my family. Thank you.
Another acknowledgement, Daryl Terry, President CEO of Beth Israel, you're here. Thank you for coming, Daryl. The president of the New Jersey Devils, Harris Blitzer Sports and Entertainment, Hugh Weber is here. Hugh, come on up.
How's everyone doing? Great. They say it takes a village to raise a child. I can tell you it took an army to do a park. And these was an army of passionate, opinionated, singularly focused sometimes, but always committed group of people. Again, many have said it, it took more than a decade to get to where we are today. And through all of that passionate debate about what the vision of this should be, there was always one voice that kept everybody aligned. And so I want to personally thank the mayor for keeping this project on track, for reminding us why we worked so hard. And I want to thank Gabe Harris specifically, who was our representative in this process. Gabe wouldn't have happened without your voice. The vision for Prudential Center many years ago was that it was an economic catalyst to be part of a tipping point for Newark. But more importantly, the vision that we've had since being here has been it's part of a neighborhood, a place where people gather to work, where they gather to play, and they gather to live and raise their children. So this park represents way more than just a swath of land between the Prudential Center and the train station where 2 million people might visit for an event. This represents a catalyst for a neighborhood to develop and grow from the seeds what is being created today. And for that, we thank the city, the leadership. Would not have happened without the work of many pulling on the rope the same way. And we're grateful to be part of it. Thank you.
We're nearing the end of our program, but there are a couple of people that are here. Jeremy Johnson of Newark Arts. Ken Gifford, Newark International Film Festival. A lot of things are happening in Newark and will continue here in the park. The man behind it all, the person who is our sprinter, our runner, all those sports things I don't know about, but he does it all. Please welcome the Honorable Mayor Raz J. Baraka.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't have to acknowledge anyone. Gwen Moten acknowledged everybody in the building, the park, down the street, around the corner. So I'm good. The only people that were not acknowledged that I think should be acknowledged is all these young people that are here, these children, these kids from these schools that are here, and prayerfully the park will become a home for them and an opportunity to hang out and have fun. This represents, and many people have said it, this represents a new motion here in the city of Newark, a new direction, the changing of the center of gravity from one part of the downtown to another part of the downtown, very deliberately and purposefully. And it took a long time for this project to happen because there were a lot of people involved in it. Very, as was stated, very opinionated, focused individuals who have their own projects in mind. The Barai family, the Lopez family, Edison and Jerry Gottesman, and the work that they have done. You see Ironside is up. They have the first building up there. The New Jersey Devils organization here, Housing Authority, the city of Newark. All of us converged on this one swap of land that when I came into office, people said was never going to happen. They said it was never going to happen, not because the idea was too big, but because the people in it were bigger than the idea they assumed. But ultimately, what happened is people and I think that what Hugh hit on was that everybody really was committed. They were really committed to making sure that this project took place. And it was difficult for us to come together, but we got there. And good things sometimes take time. So I'm not upset that it took 15 years, as long as we get more than 15 years out of it, right? That the impact that it's going to have is going to last generations. It's going to last generations because what you see is a park. What you don't see is all the development that will take place because of this park. Because of those land swaps, you don't see the residential, the commercial, the restaurants, the retail, all the activity that's going to take place down here. And what you also don't see, what's in the works now, is a bridge that will connect this part of the city to the Ironbound, which will bring the East Ward, the Ironbound community, up into the Central Ward or into this part of the city, which does not happen, right? It gives people access to the train station, access to Prudential Arena, access to New Jersey Performing Arts Center, access to even City Hall, Lincoln Park, and it allows us to bring people from the South Ward, from the West Ward, from parts of the Central Ward, parts of the North Ward, down to a park which we're going to consider a convening of our city to exchange our multicultural values, our culture, our history, to be able to do this in one park. And that's what I see when I see Mulberry Commons. I just don't see grass and trees. I see Newark beginning to see itself as what it can become. And I know we're not used to that story. We're used to the story of us fighting. We're used to the story of shots. We're We're used to the stories of corruption. We're used to the stories of the things, us destroying one another, because those are the things that we uphold. In fact, those are the things that sell. You can't be angry for people that are trying to sell those things, because those are the things we buy. But today we're selling you something different. We're selling you a story of a city that's on a comeback. We're selling you a story of hard work between people who are immigrants to this community, whether you're talking about the Lopez family or the Barai family, or whether you're talking about Gottesman and the Edison community. We're talking about folks who came together from completely different backgrounds, different intentions and ideas, who decided that we would make Newark our focus and build this park. That yes, we can make money, but we can grow the city at the same time. And that we did it despite all of the negativity. We made it happen. And when we cut the ribbon for this bridge, all of the naysayers will finally be put to bed. That Newark is one community. Despite all of the stuff that makes us, the inclination for us to be divided, to separate ourselves because of power, because of all these other things, this park is going to prove to everybody that Newark is one community. I'm excited about it. And I'm excited about what's going to happen down here. And if somebody tells me that they're building a park for them, then they're saying it wrong. This park is for all of us. And I invite you who don't even live here to come and enjoy our park here in the city of Newark. And after you hang out in the park, go check a Devils game out. Come to a concert. Before you go there, go eat at Don Pepe's restaurant. Go to NJ Pack, get a few concerts in. While you at it, go check out the beautiful architecture of the Edison building. And if you're having trouble with parking, come to City Hall. We'll give you a voucher to get a refund for parking, because we're getting ready to raise the dollars to build that bridge. So God bless you. This is an incredible, incredible day for the city of Newark, and it's got me very, very, very excited. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Shout out to Aisha Glover. Hi, Aisha. Richard Monte is here. Yes, somewhere. We're ready. We're ready for the ribbon cutting. The ribbon cutting will take place in that direction. After that, with the marching band, you will go through and then be a part of the, please be a part of the activities. The mayor will cut the ribbon. Please follow the mayor.